Hi, Saggies. How are some of my favorite people in the world? God, I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm so happy I'm talking with you right now. You're my team players. I'm a Sag Rising. I think I say that every time, but it's really exciting. And whenever I'm around Sag Suns, I think I might be one of the happiest people that ever was. Yeah, I love you guys. I really, really do. Now, April was crazy. I think we can all agree April was a bit of a whirlwind. And it sets May up to be really, really interesting. Like, quite an interesting month. And for you guys, what I'm picking up before any of the cards even come out is that you're feeling a little low energy. I mean, normally, Sag, you're full of energy. You're fire sign. You are an inspirational person. You are a positive person. You are a light bringer to the world. And you want to keep that energy high and you want to be doing that work. It's awesome. And I think sometimes you feel the pressure of that expectation, though. You feel the pressure of like knowing that you're supposed to be on fire all the time. And I think in May, at the beginning of it, you are going to be feeling a little bit like, I can't be on fire 100% of the time. I need time that is quiet. I need time that is about my day-to-day routines and about getting extra rest and about caring for my physical body. You know, the sun is going to be in your 6th house, which is, it's Taurus for most of the month. And that is about your daily routines. And there is going to be a little ebb of energy. Whoa, 3 cards just flew out. Oh no. 5 cards flew out. Wow, okay. Oh, wow, okay. So you're going to start the month off here. Just a little bit. And you will feel a little bit tired and you will feel a little bit like, whew, okay. But oh my goodness, Sag. Things are getting interesting for you. I'm going to pull a couple more cards and we're going to talk about what I have down here. I normally would list it all out, but it's kind of blowing my mind, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I would say take that rest at the beginning of the month, end of April, early May. Just take a slow down. You know, Saturn is retrograde in your sign. That's going to be going on for a few months. You might be feeling a little bit of that, and that's fine. You know, just kind of flow with it, you know, go deep for a little bit, but it's not going to last long. And I think that's why you might need it. Yep, you're going to need a little bit of that rest. You're going to need a little bit of that calm reflectiveness, because ooh, excuse me. Ooh, it's been a really long April, you guys, and it's Mercury retrograde, and I'm filming all of these, so I'm sorry that I just yawned. You guys do not bore me, I promise. Okay. First of all, you're going to be dealing with an air sign. And this air sign is going to be wanting to talk a lot. In fact, there you go. There you go. You are going to be dealing with an air sign that has a lot to say and that has issues and that is trying to get these issues off of their chest. And they're kind of harsh. They're kind of harsh. They're kind of short. They're kind of impatient. And I think what's frustrating about this air sign, honestly, for you guys, is that you feel like for so long they were slow and stunted and kind of being frustrating for you when you were just wanting to move forward because you're fire and you just want to move on things. You want to move on things. And then suddenly out of nowhere, they're going to be coming in and being like, well, now we need to talk. Now we need to have conversations. Now I want to slice through and have your attention and have your answers and have what you think. And I want you to be at my beck and call. However, there's something that needs to be addressed. Whoops. Excuse me, guys. There's something that needs to be addressed here. Like when I see these two here, This has been coming up a lot for the May readings, and it just feels kind of like everybody's kind of going through like this emotional roller coaster where there's a heart issue that needs to be discussed. There's a heart issue that keeps coming up, and it has to do with this kind of slicing personality. And this can also be just you, like you might have some wounds in your heart, Saggies, that have been kind of lurking under the surface, and part of the reason you might be feeling tired at the beginning of this month and kind of here, like we were talking about, is because it's kind of caught up with you, and it's kind of come out of left field, and suddenly you're having to go here and be here, and it's not really what you want to be doing, and you're a little bit resentful of the universe for putting this on your plate right at this point in the year, and you're like, really? I have so much to do, and this is what's coming up? But like I was saying, you can't be on fire 24/7. You can't be in your fiery, expansive element all the time. And like I was just saying, Saturn's retrograde in your sign, which means you have to comb over a lot of details about things that maybe you never even really wanted to comb over. But that's kind of the key to unlocking your heart again. You're a little bit landlocked coming into May. Because you've been trying to just stay action focused for so long, and you've been trying to just stay with your head in that course, it's kind of been building up and building up and building up, and now it's here. And so you're going to have to address it. You're going to have to address it. There is this moment of clarity coming up here, you guys. I love the Tower card. There's going to be a moment of truth this month where you have to express something and you have to own it. And I actually got the Tower card for Leos too. This is a fiery lightning strike moment where you can't ever go back to the way things were. And you don't want to, quite honestly, because whatever this was that was holding you back and making you tired, it wasn't serving you, and it was keeping you stuck. It was keeping you stuck in an old routine. And you know, honestly, it's interesting. It's interesting the way these cards came out, because you get that Tower, you get that insight, you get that shift where, like I said, I mean, it might be kind of brutal, you guys, because sometimes, you know, when you know you have to face up to something, you know you have to have that moment of insight, you know you have to have that conversation, you know you have to put something on the line. But it's hard because you know that once it's done, and you can't ever go back to a moment before it was done. You can't ever go back. It's the kind of thing where there's no take backsies, right? And that is there. But the last two cards that came out for you after that Tower are energies that, honestly, as a Sag, they're not going to be energies that necessarily plunge you into the realms of ecstasy. I mean, these are water and earth signs. And I think kind of what's going to happen here is you're kind of going to go through a whole cycle where you come back by the end of May to your daily routines, to your regular habits. What makes you feel good? Because there's a lot of emotional tumult here. There's a lot of slicing. There's a lot of slicing and dicing and cutting into the core of the issue. I mean, you have 5 Swords cards and then the Tower in this reading. And there's a lot of slicing and dicing. And so, you know, your fiery element, you need a little bit of this grounding this month, because you've kind of amputated something out of your life, I think, Saggies. I think you've been amputating something out of your life, and it's important. You got to get rid of the gangrene, right? You have to get rid of the dead weight or it will take you down with it. And it's leaving you in this kind of emotionally raw and real place. You know, could also be a water sign kind of coming into your orbit. And it could be, I can almost see this being somebody that'll help you kind of heal up from all the slicing and dicing, because it's such a different element from you. You know, a Piscean or a Cancerian energy that's very healing and very calming could maybe really help give you some insight into why it had to get so ugly and brutal and heavy. And help soothe you out of kind of almost a fearful place. I feel like everybody likes to talk about how Sagittarius and Sagittarians are such freedom-seeking people. And you are. You definitely are. But I don't know, like, I've been thinking a lot about fire signs recently, and all three of the fire signs, as much as, yes, we have that ego and that independence, and we're like, this is how we're all ruled by the heart to a certain extent. I mean, especially Leos, but all, because the heart is the organ of fire. And we feel things, we experience things very deeply in an emotional level. And there's this heaviness here, you guys. I mean, you are feeling this. So even though you're free spirited and you're free thinking, when these kinds of things come slashing in, it doesn't mean that you don't feel it. You feel it very much. And so there's a healing element going on here. And I'm actually honestly surprised by how heavy this reading is. And I just did Gemini, your opposite sign. And they also had a really heavy reading. They also got the Three of Swords, in fact. And it's just like the truth is coming out, you guys. And that's really good. It's freeing you. I'm telling you, it will free you from something that has been keeping you locked. And let's see, I'm pulling out a couple clarifiers from my Lenormand deck. And oh my gosh, 7 and 8 of Pentacles. Okay, here we started with the 7 of Pentacles in this reading. What really matters, Sagittarius, this month is that you take care of yourself and you focus in on your daily routines. You have to get grounded and strong in that. Because in your work ethic, in your ability to hold your own in the day-to-day, that is how you're going to get through this airy energy that is coming in and demanding you speak your mind. The more grounded you can get in yourself, the better able you will be able to express yourself verbally. We fire signs don't always have an easy time doing the verbal tango. It can be really exhausting for us to have to take our emotional, passionate sides and put them into a verbal place. If you're grounded, though, and you have your wits about you, and you have that rest, and you have that kind of like, okay, I see what I need to say. I see what I need to do. You will be able to say exactly what you mean without it being mean, without it being superfluous, without it being what you don't really mean. Because I think sometimes, Sages, sometimes you guys are peacekeepers. You're so optimistic. You want to keep the peace. You want to keep people happy. And so what comes out of your mouth ends up not being what you really mean, but it doesn't end up helping anybody in the long run. There's a practicality to this communication. There's a practicality to this truth, this aha moment. There's a practicality to the fact that you have to break through whatever this is. And that's why you're getting so much of this Pentacles energy as well, along with the Swords energy, is like, there's something you really have to say. And if you're not there with the practical side of it, if you're not there with what you really need to bring out of yourself, you will keep going back around the circle, and you will continue to feel tired, and you will continue to feel that you have been drained of your energy. And, honestly, the truth is coming out no matter what. There's kind of this thing of, I want to pull one more clarifier for you guys. I don't know. Like, I'm just surprised too. I mean, this is going to affect me too. So I'm kind of like, okay, you guys, am I ready for this? Am I ready for 6 of Swords came out. Oh, yeah. and I got this for Leo too. It's so weird. Here's that leaving behind. There's something getting left behind here. There's a shore getting left behind, and a breath of fresh air coming in, and it's coming whether or not you are welcoming it or not. And the thing with this month, I think, is like you can either do this forthright and with clarity and with strength and with conviction and with, you know, saying what's really true to your heart, or you can kind of do it wishy-washy, and that will be more painful. That will be more painful. And I'm not, you know, and once again, I'm not saying this is necessarily a breakup. Even though, you know, there is some harsh energy here, even though I am saying there's this leave taking. This might actually be the conversation that needs to happen for you in order for you to have this emotionally fulfilling relationship. But it might be a really heavy conversation. And it won't be one of the easy ones. It'll be one of the more important ones. And for those of you that have like a work thing that you need to be, you know, it's going to be a conversation where you really have to set your standards high. But that's what's going to allow you to move forward in life and not get stuck in a rut where you feel like your fire has been put out, Saggies. I feel like some of you, you know, everybody expects Saggies to just keep going and going and going and going and going forever and ever and have no downtime. But, you know, your fire is, it's threatening to get blown away and blown out and suppressed and dampened down. And that can last for a long time if you don't take care of what you need to say. So, you know, take some time and really think out, write out what it is that you really want. What are your objectives? What are your goals in this life? What really brings your heart to life? What makes you sing? What makes you feel like you're on fire? And do those things. Speak those things, express those things, and create a supportive environment where you bring the clarity and the truth rather than waiting for it to come after you, because it will. The truth will come after you if you don't champion it first. And so this month, that is what it is about. I love you guys. You are my family. And I think this month is just going to be really deep. It's just going to be really, really, really deep. So be patient with yourselves. Be kind with yourselves. Know that you don't have to be on fire 24/7. Know that you don't have to have all your answers right away. Know that you can take a little bit of time. And I promise, it is going to make everything stronger in your life. I love you guys. I'm going to leave my website and my email below. Please get in touch with me, because whenever I work with you guys, oh, we have the best time. Seriously, I want to thank those of you who I worked with one-on-one this last month, because we had some of the best sessions I've ever had. And you all are working on such amazing things. And so while this month is heavy hitting, I really see you all still coming into your own still. And part of this is learning how to say these things, these harsh things, is helping you come into your own. How exciting is that? Yes, let's do it. Yeah, so I'll leave my website, my email below. Please get in touch with me. I would love to hear from you. I will see you in June, and have a beautiful May. Mwah.